Hey folks, it's Jared Mannanen from the website TahoeTrailGuide.com. Today is March 31, 2022, and it also happens to be my 100th day of cross-country skiing for this winter. So, very exciting. And I didn't realize it until I was driving here that, one, I haven't even skied at Carson Pass, where I'm at right now, all season, because there has been enough snow closer to home, so I don't have to make the commute out here quite like some other seasons where there's no snow at lower elevations. But I also realized that this is exactly where I was last year on my 100th day of skiing. I found this little angle of terrain, and I'm going to just work on practicing downhill turning. Although you could probably tell by the sound of the crunchiness of this video that I'm working with some pretty fine grit concrete today. It's a little bit challenging as far as just going uphill. Going downhill, it'll be slick as snot. It's going to be fast, and a couple of places that I've tested it out, at least it's all consistent. I'm very excited about this condition of snow because in past years when I've been out here later in the season, this thing has just been pockmarked with rivulets and sun cups and all kinds of dangerous terrain, well, not terrain features, but snow quality, snow features, and it just makes it kind of terrifying to go down. But this is perfect because it's all uniform and surface conditions, so it's just great. I was hoping it would be a little bit softer, however, but we do what we do with what we got. So I'm going to work on, instead of telemark turns, I'm going to work on parallel turns, or at least Stem Christie modified parallel turns. A couple of things that I wanted to talk about today. Just some updates. Last Sunday was officially my last day working at the Cross Country Ski Center for the season. I didn't actually know that till this past Tuesday when I was called off from this upcoming weekend's scheduled shifts. But we've had such warm temperatures here at Lake Tahoe that the snow melt has been rapid, particularly at lower elevations. And the resort at which I work, it's at about 6,700 feet, the resort is, and it goes up about 1,500 feet more than that at the highest points, but it also goes down about a few hundred feet. So we've just been losing trails left and right progressively over the last week and a half. So we'll be open through the weekend, possibly. I haven't heard that either, but regardless, there's not going to be enough business for them to need me to work. So I'm kind of flying without a parachute until my summer job starts again, which is always a bit terrifying and exciting because now I have a solid month or so to hammer out a bunch of projects that I've neglected. You know, I say that this is the 100th day of cross-country skiing. I don't know if it's going to be my last day of skiing this season. I was kind of expecting to find worse conditions here, but man, these are really good. So I may make the effort to come back out here a couple more times. But I am kind of, you know, it was a challenging winter. We had all that snowfall in December, 16 feet worth, and that was it until we got another foot in the middle toward the end of February, and then a couple of like 1 to 2 inch little flurries here and there since then. But yeah, it's just been a challenging winter. It was cold enough that all that snow that we did get in December held for as long as it did, but at the same time, you know, as you ski more and more and you start to find the times that you really enjoy skiing in, it gets a little bit challenging to want to come out here and deal with like this hard pack stuff like I'm on today. But people ask me about marking my days, those 100 days, right? Like, oh, why do you keep track? Why do you bother? Like, that seems kind of weird, like a check in the box activity. But the reality is, for me at least, I've been an athlete all my life. I love to work out. I love to play sports. I love to do all kinds of body movement related activities. But the problem is in and of itself, it's hard for me to do. So having a goal. So I've run a couple marathons before. So I've run all my life. but I don't really like it. So having that goal of actually completing a marathon keeps me on task. So having those 100, or that target goal of 100 cross-country ski days for a season, that's like important for me in order to make sure that I'm consistently getting out every week a bunch of times. Yeah, if I was left to my own devices, there's a good chance I'd be sitting in front of my computer editing photos, drawing at my drafting table, sitting in my room basically, and not burning a whole lot of calories. So there's all these things that I would like to do, but cross-country skiing is one of them, and I do love to ski, particularly when the conditions are good and it's beautiful outside. I love it, so it's not as hard for me to do as, say, run consistently. At the same time, it's easy for me to not go about skiing if I have something that's more important to do. So yeah, so that's why I keep track. It's not about quantifying an experience. It's not about ticking off a box on your bucket list. It's just, it keeps me on track. It's a little trick that I play on myself to do that, and yeah, it tends to work. I get out there a lot, and it keeps me in shape. It keeps my mind open to all possibilities. I also wanted to mention that March 16th, I officially earned my level 2 cross-country certification from PSIA, and that was pretty exciting. So I'm grateful to have gone through the experience leading up to that throughout the season. After my pre-exam, or your initial evaluation to determine whether or not you are ready to go for the next level of certification, I got good feedback from the examiner, and that was back in January. And since then, we've been doing weekly clinics at the cross-country ski resort. They're informal in-house clinics amongst us Nordic instructors. So what we do is have anywhere between 3 and 6 or 7 of us every week, and we just meet and discuss trials and tribulations of being a cross-country ski instructor, and how can we become better skiers as well as instructors. In addition, I was able to participate in a couple of celebrity clinics that we host at the cross-country ski resort at which I work, and those are with national level coaches, former Winter Olympians, that sort of thing. So I was able to do a couple of different clinics this season as well, and all of that continued education essentially just helped to really level up my skiing, and I felt real confident about getting that level 2 certification. I also received really nice feedback from the examiners of the test, the practical test, and they encouraged me to go for my level 3 next season. It's not a race. It's not, again, about checking the box or anything like that, but it is about learning. And there's people who are against certifications and that sort of thing, but I do like the standardization of quality of instruction and teaching when you do have certifying bodies overseeing what everyone's doing. Yeah, some people are weird about that. I've always been a little bit weird because I'm not a huge fan of big organizations and that sort of thing. But again, the learning opportunities are incredible and invaluable. I couldn't just learn all this stuff watching YouTube videos or reading books, for example. Not that I want you to stop watching my videos, but I do encourage you to go take actual hands-on classes, get into clinics, hire a coach, do whatever, personal trainer, those sort of things, because it's so beneficial to have somebody that's not invested in what your beliefs are or what your thoughts are about how you perform. When they just look at you with an unbiased eye and say, hey, this is what I see, I think you could fix this, you could work on that. You can't do that for yourself most of the time. The closest you can really get is to videotape or film yourself and then watch it, because cameras don't necessarily lie, at least not that often. So yeah, it was a really educational experience this year, and for that I'm super grateful, because I get to share that with you guys, and that's always very exciting too. And when I do share that, it just deepens my understanding of that concept in which I'm providing instruction on. So I really appreciate the learning opportunities at my winter job, as well as all the people, mentors, friends, and coworkers that help me, you know, get to be a better skier and a better instructor. So that's very exciting. In the same vein of working toward my level 3 certification next season, I think this season, this summer specifically, I'm gonna commit to really stepping up my strength and agility training drills, as well as conditioning. I don't want to come to the season like I have these last 2 seasons hoping to get in shape during the season. I'd rather come to the cross-country ski season next year already in shape and ready to go. So that's something that's going to be part of this summer's experience for me. And then TINS is hosting not the Tahoe Big Year with birds, but the Tahoe Wildflower Big Year with plant life. So trees, shrubs, wildflowers, that sort of thing are part of this experience. So I've already started logging some identifications. Trees, you know, they're there year round, so I don't have to wait for them to bloom per se. But we have to post photos onto iNaturalist. If you're interested, if you're in the Tahoe area, I encourage you to participate in the event. It's pretty cool. It's pretty fun. It's just citizen science, and it's you know, got a lot of people that like to contribute to the understanding of the flora of Lake Tahoe region. So yeah, it's pretty fast, and I can feel the snow transforming as the minutes pass. There's also a little bit of breakable crust on certain pitches of this little hill that I'm working, so I think I'm good. I think it's time to go back home, get some more stuff done. I'm always struggling to get summer content posted on YouTube, but I will make another commitment this year to do more. It may not be cross-country ski related, so I hope you stick around for that. Maybe wildflowers, birds, hiking. I got so many ideas that I'd like to execute, but my full-time job in the summer usually gobbles up a lot of my time and energy. So we'll see what happens. But I have written a new Tahoe Trail Guide article as of yesterday, so check that out. It's called "Invest in Technique More Than Gear," and it well, just go to the website and you'll find it. Currently, it's the first article on my blog list, so it's pretty standard. Pretty easy to find right now, but if you're watching this 5 years from today, it may be buried somewhere else in the website. So just go to the search bar under backcountry skills and invest in technique more than gear. That is the big takeaway this winter, is invest in yourself. Work on your skills so that they're transferable from one set of skis to the next, one type of snow condition to the next. That last week of work that I was at my job at the Cross Country Ski Center, I was practicing telemark turns in skinny skis with soft boots and long ski poles. And I was doing that to challenge myself off-piste at the resort because, well, I want to work on the precision in that. But today, with today's firm conditions, modified parallel turns was on the menu, so that's what we went with. Anyway, I totally appreciate all of your support, all my Patreon subscribers, people who have contributed through PayPal and Venmo, people who leave nice comments, ask meaningful questions. It's awesome. It's great. It really inspires me to make more stuff for you. So if you liked the video, give it a thumbs up. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel. If you have any feedback or questions, post in the comment section below. And then check out TahoeTrailGuide.com. As I mentioned, if you want to contribute in a financial way, I have a Patreon, PayPal, and Venmo option that you can contribute. You guys are the best, and we'll see how many more days I get of skiing. This was actually really fun today, so we may be coming back out. Maybe I'll try to encourage some friends to come with me too. Although a lot of people I know are already looking at planning their gardens and doing their spring thing. So it is what it is. But here I am today. Take care, folks.